I first met Dick Connolly probably about 40 years ago. He was just a kind, thoughtful, and just a very, very compassionate human being.
I recall meeting Dick for the first time over breakfast. You could see his passion and his, again, that fiery personality, frankly, on every topic that we talked about.
First thing that struck me was a great laugh, great stories. Early on, we were just talking about common interests. It drifted straight to golf, straight to the Ouimet Fund, straight to Arnold Palmer.
Both my dad and Arnold's are humble, blue-collar guys, friends with the same guys they grew up with, intent on giving back, and extremely grateful for what they've been given in life. And I think that's why Arnold Palmer was so beloved, and in my case, why I idolized my dad.
There's no doubt in my mind that Dick Connolly would not be who he is today and have had the successes if it wasn't for his upbringing and all the experiences he had when he was a young man, and truly believe that golf is one of those amazing things. It's not a sport, okay? It defined Dick Connolly. He never forgot how to carry other people's bags. And to me, that's a true testament to why Dick Connolly has been so successful.
As far as the caddy history, he's so proud of that. He always says that it taught him lessons about the people that he was, caddying for, lessons in life, that it was some of the best work he ever did. And I agree. There's something to that.
My dad told a lot of stories about his caddy days and the impact of golf for him and his family.
Dick has always been so close with his family. It's part of who he is, right? And I was lucky enough to work with Dick when his mom was still alive. And she'd call the office in her beautiful Woburn accent and say, "Is Dickie there? Is he too busy?" And we'd always say, "Mrs. Connolly, he's never too busy for his mother." And Dick would pick up the phone all the time, so it was great.
Anyone in life who has success, generally speaking, is going to have a partner that's just as impactful. In our lives, my mom has been incredible to us. None of us would be here today without Anne-Marie Connolly.
Dick is probably one of the most intriguing businessmen that I've met with in my career, because it's very difficult to maintain a sense of integrity, hard work, passion, community involvement, and caring about your family. It's a balancing act. And Dick Connolly was by far the most successful at balancing all those different elements of a whole life.
Dick has been a top performer, a top producer, not just at Morgan Stanley and not just in the city of Boston, but in the industry for a long period of time. There are lots of people who have good years, perhaps good decades, few that have done it for as long and as consistently as Dick Connolly.
Dick's business relationships are so important, and honestly, they should be studied, because I've never seen a person to be able to connect with people so quickly and so sincerely than Dick Connolly.
Working with my dad has been a privilege, and I get asked this question a lot. And oftentimes folks will say to me, "You've got big shoes to fill." And what I believe they're referencing is his career. But in my estimation, the biggest shoes I have to fill is following in his footsteps as a human being and a person. And if I can be half the man that my dad is, I'll consider that a success.
He used to have a great line. He would say, "There's so many people in Boston that keep their hands deep in their pockets when people ask for money." And I'll blow the accent, but he'd say, "Blobby, they don't know what they're missing." And he was so right.
He has given to so many different causes and so many different people. I'm not sure he knows the word no when people come asking for his help, and so his giving is frankly epic.
Him being honored this year, I'm just incredibly proud. And my dad's life has been a life of giving back, but Ouimet's always been at the center.
As far as Dick's being recognized tonight, this is so appropriate. He was the heart and soul, has been the heart and soul of the Ouimet Fund for so many years. And when you see what tonight is all about with the number of people here, that's all because of Dick.
I did want to say that his parents, Dick and Ruth, are smiling down on him tonight, saying, "Good job, Dickie."
There is no individual that has a story like Dick, that has pulled himself up as a young boy on the golf course, in the family, in school and in the business world to have the successes like Dick Connolly has. And it's only because Dick Connolly did one thing, and one thing only. Dick Connolly never forgot where he came from.
I read something once that the purpose of life is to live a life of purpose, and that always reminded me of my dad. So his purpose was family, friends, faith, his business, and giving back. That's a lesson that my brothers and I are very fortunate that we learned from my parents. And that message, in essence, it is in giving that we truly receive, and we're blessed to have learned that.